Hello, fellow humans. Here's just a quick little video on how to make a more customized face masks, maybe something that shows your spirit or your personality or whatever makes you happy. We all have a million t-shirts in our closets and in our drawers. So I'm just going to take one of my old t-shirts. This is a Seroptimus t-shirt that I don't wear anymore because I have a new one, and this one's got a couple of stains on it. And I would like to make a mask with that logo. So you start by laying your t-shirt out. You want to cut up the side, around the armhole, through the neck, so that you can lay the fabric down flat. So I'm just laying the t-shirt down. There's my logo. I'm going to take my iron and just give it a quick press. Now I want that Seroptimus logo right in the front of my mask. So I'm going to take my mask front pattern piece, 7 by 9 with just that slight curve at the top for the nose instead of straight like you've seen most masked. I find that that little curve really helps. So I'm going to lay it down, the top of it, about a ½ inch beyond the logo. It's going to lift up from the bottom, make sure I've got it centered. With the Seroptimus logo right in the front. There we go. Now I have my lining pre-cut. I've already cut it out. So this is just a piece of muslin. And the pocket, which is that same 7 by 9 with the curved top, pressed flat, that I will sew to the lining. And then my 7 by 9 inch square, rectangle, that I've pressed in half, that I will stitch to the lining as well. So these two pieces get stitched like this. There we go. And we'll go over to the machine and I'll show you how to do that next. But before we do that, let's go ahead and make the comfort ties. So I've tried elastic. You may have seen my video with bias tape, but what I have recently found out through the sharing of others is that this nice stretch poly cotton works the best. Eyeballing it, I'm just going to cut a 1-inch strip of t-shirt material. There we go. Alrighty, so there it is. And I'm going to pull it tight. And as you pull t-shirt material, some magic happens and it creates this beautiful cone shape. Folds in on itself and it is amazing, little stretchy, super comfortable behind the ears. So I'm going to cut two pieces, 8-inch, and this will be for a regular size mask. I've done 9 to 9.5 for our big guys. My husband is a big guy. 6'3", head full of brains, so I call him my big head, and I did 9.5 inches on his comfort strips and they were perfect. So I'm just going to do 8 inches for me because that's what works best, and this is for me. Cutting, just laying them on my tape measure, cutting 2 comfort strips. As you can see, one time across made more than enough. I've got 3 just from cutting across the front of the t-shirt. Alright, so now we're ready to go over and stitch. So I showed you a minute ago the lining. It's the same shape as our front. I'm going to lay that down. I'm going to take my piece that I've pressed in half that has a curve on both sides. I'm going to align it. Let me just tip that down so you can see a little bit better. There we go. Now in order to attach this, I lay it in place. And I'm going to open it, holding it where it is, and then I'm just going to stitch in 1.5 inches on either end of the fold line. So I'm stitching in the ditch at 1.5 inches. Go to the other side and do that as well. What you've done is you've attached this pocket piece, but you've left a space in between. Okay, now we're going to take rectangle and do the same exact thing. We're going to lay it in place. We're going to open it and stitch in the ditch 1.25 inches from either end. Open it. Now both pieces are attached and you've got this nice little pocket. Our two 8-inch comfort strips. I'm going to take where the curl opens up, I'm going to put it down. I'm going to place it up in the corner about 1/2 inch from the top edge. I'm just going to quickly stitch over it. There we go. Come down. Right about where I want it to be, I just grab it and I slide it underneath, and I'm going to just quickly stitch over it here as well. Now if you're an unsure seamstress and you want to pin those in place, you certainly can. But essentially that's all I've done. Left a little bit on either end that I'm going to sew. Pocket lining, there we go. Now, I'm going to take my custom t-shirt front and I'm going to lay it face down. There we go. Alrighty, now you can trim those edges. I'm going to use my serger. I'm just going to zip around real quick just to clean the edges up and to give it that extra strength. One side. Two sides, and here's the third side. Again, for bulk's sake, I'm just going to trim the corners real quick. One corner, two corners, three, and all four corners. You are almost done. Let's turn it right side in now. So we're going to press on those corners and pull on that comfort strip that's in the corner. That's going to pull it through the rest of the way. 2, 3, and one more corner, 4. There we go. Slide my hand inside, help push it out, and take it over to the iron and press it down. There we go. Just want to make sure that you got the edges all nice and flat. I like to press it on both sides. And remember, that bottom edge is still open. See that? I'm just going to take my iron and I'm just going to press under that 1/2 inch, 1/4 to 1/2 inch seam that I just, same width of seam that I just stitched around the 3 sides. So I'm just going to press it down, front and back. There we go. Just making a nice crisp edge so that when you get ready to close this, it just makes it much nicer to close up. Makes a nice clean seam. Alrighty, one more step. 2 more steps. We're going to insert, I'm going to make a little pocket for the pipe cleaner for the bridge of the nose. And then we're going to stitch it shut and do our pleats. Alright, so we want our pipe cleaner to go across the top edge of the nose. So I'm going to stitch a full inch away from where the curved edge starts to where the curved edge ends on both sides. So I'm just going to do a quick stitch around. I guess it's more of about 5/8 of an inch. There we go. And let me show you what that looks like. I'm going to trim the threads off real quick. There we go. All right, so this is what you've done. You've made a little pocket. Now you're going to reach in through the bottom and slide your pipe cleaner in there. I've been taking your average pipe cleaner, cutting it in half, grabbing my little needle nose, grabbing the end where the wire is showing, and I'm bending it in towards the rest of it, pressing it down, just so it's soft on the end and not pokey. After multiple uses, you don't want that wire coming through, be uncomfortable. You want to be able to wash and wear this mask many, many, many times. All right, so there we go. I've got my pipe cleaner ready to go. I'm going to reach my hand in through the mask. I'm going to find the pocket. I'm going to push it through. Once you've got your pipe cleaner in that little pocket, and you'll notice there's about a little over it's probably close to 1 3/4 left over on both sides. If you want to measure it and go all the way, you can. I wouldn't go all the way to the edge of the face though. Shorter is better. Just got to over the bridge of the nose. Now, all we have left to do is stitch around, close up the opening, and then put our pleats in. So again, t-shirt material tends to wander because it's stretchy, so I am going to use pins to hold this in place as I get ready to close up the bottom edge of my closed. We're going to make the 3 pleats along the side. So I pressed it, and now I'm going to pinch and come downward, hold it in place, press. You can see it makes like a little accordion, and right where that fold stops is where I'm going to pick it up and make another fold and bring it down forward. So now that there's 2, I press those down. There we go. I've got 2 pleats, and I like it this time just to turn it over, especially when I'm working with t-shirt. The lining on the back that the pocket is made out of, the cotton, is easier to press and get it to hold its shape. There we go. So there's 2 pleats. Now 1 more. There we go. 1, 2, 3. And press down the edges. I really like the placement of how this is turning out. Seroptimus logo is best for women, and that Seroptimus best for women is showing up really nice on the front of this mask. Seroptimus best for women. All right, let's go back and stitch it. I'll lower my needle, back stitch a little, and then go forward. Back stitch again. That's one end. Let me show you how that looks. I'm just going to trim off my threads, both sides. There we go. Back under there. You want to let the presser foot grab the fabric. There we go. And done. Okay. My favorite t-shirt mask is ready for wearing. Again, please be careful what you put inside of these to use for a filter. Coffee filters we know are safe. Hypoallergenic cotton filters for air conditioning units are safe. You have to make sure nothing has fiberglass, so be very careful of that. PUL fabric works because it's breathable, but it is moisture blocking. And there we go. So let's see how we did. I'm going to place it, bend my nose piece. Isn't that nice? Oh, those are so comfortable. So it's snug, but not too tight. There we go. My big Seroptimus S shows nicely. I can pull the accordion even more to go further underneath my chin. And there we go. My Seroptimus face mask. My favorite t-shirt.